26 December. Baby, let's go to Pompeii today. You like it? What is that? Obelisk something? They call them obelisk. Để coi thử cái. Have a quick look.
Museum ở đây chắc hả?
Yeah. Yeah. Có chừng xe nó chạy ra. Muốn lấy cái nón đội luôn cho ấm cái đầu không con?
Anh có đem cái pin điện này, cái là cái hat.
This, yeah. And the dragons. Eagle là symbol lớn của Rome hồi xưa đó ha. Giờ cho mấy cây tụi nó đi đánh giặc rồi đó. Nó cần thằng nó cầm mấy cây kia. The eagle.
West, the first monk, and his name is Saint Benedict. Now, what's going on, and why Saint Benedict is making such a radical choice?
First monastery in Europe,
which was very radical in those times, right? Especially in this area, in Europe, because we are at the end of the empire, and we are 6th century after the death of Jesus, basically, right? And Christianity had profoundly changed. And from a bunch of disciples of Jesus that would really live what they were preaching, the basic of the Gospels, you know, from the Constantine on, the emperor that gave political, but it didn't exist, it's 400 years ago. And let me tell you, Neapolitan pizza, I know, now we are the country of tomatoes. We have more than 400 varieties of tomatoes. That's why when you say sauce, each tomato is pretty ugly actually. Those skyscrapers.
That's Mount Vesuvius.
If you go to Naples, it's beautiful. It was founded 6 centuries before Christ, so it's even more like a lasagna than Rome. So many layers,
yeah.
You know, on top of the hill, on the top. And there, the daddy that gives the identity to the whole era. Now, can you see the higher peak? 2 peaks, right? The higher peak is the cratera, Mount Vesuvio. Guys, do you know, can you guess why it's, honestly, I'm not trying to impress you, considered the most dangerous volcano on Earth? Huh? Hopefully it's not that unpredictable. That's not the reason. What else?
It's due.
Huh?
The eruption is due.
Is due?
Yeah, every 3,000 years is...
Every 100. But that's not why. We have many other active volcanoes that erupt much more frequently. Like one erupted last summer in Sicily. There's a very specific reason why this is most dangerous. Because 300 of Neapolitans live on the slope of the active volcano, happily worshipping it, loving it. Because not this land wouldn't be the same without it. Everything that grows on top of this land, the tomatoes, the fruits, the vine. Cratera, and it has 2 peaks, right? The higher one is the cratera. Now, with your timing machine, your mind timing machine, let's go back 2,000 years ago, at the time of Pompeii. You live in Pompeii, you are living the dream, right? Because, you know, Pompeii was a very wealthy port. You would see beautiful villas, you know? Imagine you had a bit... You had no idea you were living at the slope of an active volcano. It would have not looked like that. It was a flat plateau, covered in vegetation. The cratera didn't exist. The cratera is the result of different eruptions later. And imagine, you think you're living at the slope of... During the war. The war was like, not a fun time to live in it. And now, guys, I want to show... there, look to the right, and then I give you the headsets, huh? Because you need headsets. Allora, that's the east, where the volcano is. That's the south, that's where we're going after, the Sorrento Peninsula. To the west, to the right, after those buildings, you will see the most glamorous island in the world. There you go. What's that island? Can you guess? No, Sorrento is not an island. Sorrento is a village on top of those cliffs. But that's an island. That's Capri.
Capri.
Capri. Guys, I'm going to give you the headsets. Let's do this quickly. Turn it on the side and plug your earpiece in. Let's make sure they work.
We're here arriving at Pompeii right now.
Tickets, I give you 5 minutes, no more, huh?
It is
5 minutes
10,
if you want to
20.
buy some water, if you want to have a look at those stands, you know, or you get a snack, but no more than 5 minutes. So you don't have to stay in line, but Sonia will do tickets for you, okay?
Back here? Back here?
Bathrooms right. I mean, you have it here, but you have to pay, so if you can wait a few minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you might wait a few minutes, Sonia is coming once you are inside.
Ways, main streets running east-west direction, and there were two of them. The major streets were two of them. All the rest were secondary. And they were called the Maximus Decumanus, that means the major Decumanus and superior Decumanus. They were intersected by secondary streets running north-south. North-south. North
It was colonized by the Romans 200 BC.
Presently in 79 years after. Do you know the plaster cast? Because this is a technique that was invented later, some years after the discovery. And I didn't say the discovery of Pompeii. Ciao, buongiorno. So, look carefully, because there is also the color. It means that was a very slow decomposition, and looking some bodies, some plaster cast of people, you will see the fold of their dressing. It means that was a really slower than some other decomposed. The fresco, because the perspective in the Middle Age, especially the first Middle Age,
Painting of the Roman.
the artists, living in the Middle Age, were not able to reproduce a good perspective like this. It was made in late 1400 and 1500 by Brunelleschi or Leon Battista Alberti. They were Italian artists. I think you heard about Brunelleschi. Filippo Brunelleschi was the architect, sculptor. He made the dam in Florence, Santa Maria del Fiore Church. Okay, let's go over. Yeah, because some of the frescoes found in houses didn't have been removed, but slowly. wants to go
would like to think that it was a familiar group because they were found in the same place. And two kids. Another very important thing, when the Mediterranean archaeologists forced the skeleton inside the bones. So into the plaster, inside the plaster there are skeletons, and you can see the skull, the original skull of this child when you come over, and look at the fold of the dressing. Not all the plaster casts were so perfect. Here there is another child and the earth where we can see the skull. All these adult plaster casts have been analyzed by X-ray to check the sex, because the doctors could state the sex of people looking at the hips. Okay, let's go to the next one. Really interesting.
Sorry.
This is a woman.
Sorry.
They know because they could show one. I said only that. But this is the hypothesis. Was it possible to check it by X-ray? Was it more, maybe it was 4 weeks, 8 weeks. So there was no skeleton, no fetal skeleton yet. In the same thing, this is men, but this is, looking at this one, you can see the people. So the plaster casts we are combining here are original. There are, maybe you can ask, are there also copies? Yes. For they make copies for exhibitions traveling around the world. But in Pompeii there are original, that means the skeleton is the original skeleton inside. And it is also impressive looking at these plaster casts, looking at the heads of these plaster casts, because maybe was keeping a bag, maybe was keeping something. Have been found also jewels or coins next to the victims. Of course, they were hauled into the pursuit in some bags, but everything was highly flammable, has been burned. So only golden jewels, bronze or silver jewels. And here there is the plaster cast where you can see very well the traits of the lips. The lips is very clear, to stay on the lips, the nose, the toes. Looking at the toes, you can also see the shape of the nail. It means that was very slow decomposition. Thanks the belt that has been found has been left in the impression. We can say that this man was a slave because it was the typical belt worn by slaves.
This man was a slave.
So now we go this way. Tu puoi riprendere la scena, fai al piano di sopra, e ti fa la ci vediamo. Sì, tu esci fuori dall'ascensore. Ok, we go this way. Dov'è? Lì. Aspetta, fammi parlare con qualcuno, faccio passare da qua. Fatelo vedere anche da qua. Ok.
He-
Excavations in progress because most of Pompeii has been unearthed. All the city was about 66 hectares and have been unearthed, have been uncovered 51 hectares. There are still today there are 15 hectares to be uncovered. That's why and they are excavated. Down here there was a gate, a nation.
Vezi că înainte de Dumnezeu, înainte de Hristos, se credeau în zei, Zeus, Venere. Nu se știau de... Unde e care fix în față.
A, uite-le acolo, acolo, ăla,
Să
ce
vedem
aia?
acolo, acolo să vedem. Asta în față! Care, că sunt o grămadă.
Păi sunt mult, nu vezi că sunt.
Stop. Over here.
Wood is not original because something has been reconstructed. The pavement of this is similar. Okay, we will see an original paving, sidewalk paving. I will tell you.
Religion.
Ancient court of justice. Because the square we are going now was a public and social place. Into the square were overlooked all the
La strada, diamo un'occhiata al secondo punto fotografico della passeggiata.
and the people of Pompeii went to the square for different reasons. Let's go over and
Wow.
each temple was dedicated to God or goddess. Looking at the entrance, you can notice the original dome. There are holes because there was a regular door, wooden door, and where are holes, you can imagine there were doors. So the wooden doors were all things going to wooden means, and doors were there.
Shrine of the Apollo. There's Mount Vesuvius. Beautiful. Check this one. Temple dedicated to Jupiter.
But on the left there was
This is the complete town. This is a complete town of Pompeii before.
Well, something happened there.
Oh, the little houses, look. What is this special place?
commercial city due to a large number of shops. There were factories, shops and houses. Now it's the time to know how to recognize shops and houses. We are in front of the entrance of a house where is the mosaic floor. You can go closer if you like. You can also use this stepping stone. So this is the entrance of a house. Laterally there are shops. So how can we recognize shops and houses? There are two the large entrance is always the narrower entrance is always the house.
Large entrance is shop, narrow entrance is house.
But the second important point is the door. Because they used this decoration, the street was named the Abundant Street, but this is a modern name. The same archaeologist who invented the technique to make name some streets and houses. Of course, there are fountains, there was a piping system, there was an aqueduct, a regular aqueduct, and a piping system running all around this.
The symbol of something.
Don't consider it as a vulgar because in this case we have two hypotheses. It was found in front of a shop because it was always connected with the commune. It became a prosperity and good luck symbol and connected with commerce. But, it is, looking at this symbol from my position, imagine I am a sailor arriving here, or merchants arriving in Pompeii, and I'm looking for something. Maybe I'm looking for a brothel. And so the brothel is to that direction, the next to the left.
It's directional.
It's also a street sign. Yes, it is.
There it is.
Okay.
So you don't want to be sitting.
What direction to
Very
left?
important. when I get off the ship, I'm looking for one of them.
That way to left.
見到啲麵包鋪啊，其他啲計嗰啲咧，呢啲門面係好爽。
They said they didn't used to be that size.
Silver plates, golden jewels, iron stuff, glass, lead. So this is the entrance of a house. There is a corridor. The length of the corridor generally was used to the length of the shop's facade. So now we are going to visit the brothel. Would you like to see the brothel? Okay. Is there any problem? But she is 16, 14.
She's 22.
She's okay? Okay. So let's go. So my recommendation was, because I had it's an easy, wide street, sometimes the stones.
This is the entrance to the brothel. Lupanari, ancient ancient brothel.
Because of the prostitute's nickname, the first nickname there are hypotheses about this nickname, and one of these is connected with the legend of Romulus and Remus. The twins were found on the Tiber River, and they were abandoned when in the baskets, and they were found by Shimama, who was the animal. You know that the Luca animal is also the symbol of life, and yes, it is on the other side. So we will make part of the major street of Pompeii the second time. Remember, it is forbidden, you can take pictures, but not yet. It is forbidden to take pictures with. So, each scene, there are some scenes depicting erotic scenes. Each scene is different from another one. In the frescoes, there are wooden beds, not the masonry beds you can see here, and they are very nice, well preserved, because not all the
That's the brothel, the biggest in Pompeii.
in some places there are nazi preserve the frescoes then somehow. Andrea!
Oh tesoro!
Ciao, tanti auguri!
Grazie cara, sto in fila, sto.
Anch'io.
Io sono entrato perché c'è un paio di...
Ma anche Federica, abbiamo fatto il giro inverso.
No, questo sta adesso.
No, perché la signora...
Ah, sono voluto questo. Io pure pensavo invece c'è.
Colleghi, non si può spiegare dentro.
Lì c'è.
Stone bed, stone pillow. Stone bed, stone pillow. Brothel.
Because we crashed in on it. This came the same place. Right, I was going to say.
They also pay taxes. Claudio realized that this kind of job was a very good income for the empire, because there were several people coming here, so they earned. And they earned. Prostitutes were slaves, so there was a man, there was always a kind of pimp, because the prostitutes were slaves, most of them, or some women, because they were not slaves, but they behaved like slaves. The condition of the woman was inferior.
Fountain, there's a pipe.
There was the pipe and always drinking water. Pipes were made of lead. And we can't see pipes everywhere because they have been removed. Last century, when was discovered that lead is a cancerous material, was decided to remove most of them to avoid the exhalation of lead particles.
Running the water. Yeah, for the common people, less affordable people. The walls covered with plaster in 2000 years ago, not like this.
So, I told you that the phallus was connected with the
Oh, we're back out on Main Street. Wow, the whole town. What's the significance of this?
So, look at the place. There are high sidewalks, high stepping stones. They are, we call them stepping stones, but they were the ancient zebra lines. The ancient crossing line. Because the streets were dirty, imagine excrements left by animals, especially big excrements beyond wastewater from houses, sometimes found in several places,
Entrance of a shop.
but they have been removed. In Naples Museum, there are 2 holes through
Original pizza oven.
the bakery.
Bakery.
Was the first factory because they started from the millstones, milling the wheat. There are some millstones on the back side, but they are damaged. They made the bread with yeast, without yeast. Bread for course was made with chicken.
Inside a rich Roman house.
Inside, into the garden, the small garden, there is a unique fresco. So the name of this room was, the main hall was atrium. And into the floor you can see kind of order. There are some holes on the 2 opposite sides, there are holes, and in this place they collected rainwater. That's why
Collected rainwater.
up the roof you can see an opening exactly upon the impluvium, that the original name was impluvium, that means inside rainwater. So from this opening rainwater fell down, and these holes, there is a small, very small hole here, another one opposite to it, but it is broken, that's why it's so large. They were connected with a system underneath. They didn't collect water right here, but there was a system. And they took that water, vividarium, because we can state it, because there are plants and animals, there is flora and fauna on the lower line all around the room, because they used to make this type of frescoes into the gardens, larger, smaller, it doesn't matter, but they were made for giving the illusion of a bigger garden, deep perspective. So, into this haunting scene we can recognize some typical animals of our country, like goats, bulls, the bull, but there are some other not so typical, like the lions chasing them or a jaguar chasing the goats. They were introduced by Romans when they colonized the North African countries, and you know that gladiators fightings, in the beginning they were just gladiator fightings, but slowly, and introducing these animals, these beasts, into the Roman Empire, the gladiators fightings became more dangerous, more wilder, because they used to fight with beasts, wild beasts. So there is a nice landscape on the right. There is a landscape representing the river, some people on the bank of the river, because the ancient Pompeii was founded on a river. But that river was filled with the eruption, with the pyroclastic flow. The landscape was changed. And there was also a fall in Pompeii, a river fall. Okay, do you have some questions about this doorway?
The cubicle.
There was a door. Where are holes like this, laterally the doorway, it means that there was a regular door, wooden door. Cubiculum,
Used to be a wooden door across here.
Cubiculum, cubicle, because of the shape, but there was just a small room. There was not all the furnishing, the wardrobe we have today, we use today. They didn't use, now it is forbidden door with some small
Reception room.
tiles, very small, and a quadrant, a nice quadrant in the middle of the floor. And the first reception room was right at the entrance. This one. You can also notice the way they decorated the walls, because they always divided the walls in big panels. There were 3 or horizontal different ways, but in the central line there were big panels. In the center of a panel, in the middle of a panel, there was a mythological figure of a
Original
page.
pillars.
Okay. From here, you can see some steps on the left side. There are some steps. It means that there was a second floor. But second floors, most of the second floors collapsed. Like
Second floors.
yeah, most of them. You will see now there is another same way at the exit. Found several places where are columns. In the middle of the column, summer column, there was a pipe. That's why we can state that there was a water jet, or sometimes a statue with a water jet. Okay. So this is the north-south street. We were mixed
Ancient theatre.
marble slabs. Here was the official entrance for spectators. It is closed because of the original floor. There were two opposite entrances, but now we have some openings opposite the spectators' seats. So you will see much better.
They have the frame to support them on airport
This
collapse.
was the stage. You can see from this balustrade, you can see the extension of the stage opposite the seats. But let's let you see.
The spectator seats like an amphitheater.
Larger seats, and the lower level was reserved to the most important people, like politicians and patricians. The patricians were the nobles of Roman times. The medium level was reserved to the upper level, where are the high steps of the level. All the people, but they must be free, because the slaves were not allowed to enter into the theater. First of all was
That's the theater, where the seats are.
into this place they paid the ticket. Unlike the amphitheater, Colosseum, where the gladiators tridents were offered by imperials, and they never paid a ticket. Into the theaters they paid a ticket. They were not completely destroyed. Some of them falling down were broken, but in some cases they found very well built. So they have. Before we leave, because there is the exit over there, here there is a restroom. We can stop here. Yes, the right for women is the king.
Giờ bà chạy cái người nào kiếm được cái marble, xong là mới đem cái marble nó lại kim demand excavation.
The last of the lava you can see there. Right.
Này ba hỏi bà đi, ba hỏi. Mấy đó Google có không?
Yeah, có hết.
Truthfully, no. Well, first of all, I'm blissfully unaware of Gaudion. Eating at the same restaurant I was eating, and I always loved Gaudion. No, with her husband.
The coast of Naples.